Sleepy fish, oh sleepy fish. Couldn't stay asleep for too long before you make some new music, and I get to listen to it. Thank you for not being always so sleepy. Welcome back to Y.E.S, everyone. Today we are talking about Like the Sky or Something Else, the fourth full-length album released by Sleepy Fish. Last year in 2020, he released two albums that were part of a trio. I have yet to review the first one from 2019. I will get around to that hopefully very soon. But alas, we have a new project here. And supposedly, if I'm reading some information correctly from certain sources I find reliable, this album should be part of another trio of albums, actually. And I'm very curious to know what those other two albums are going to sound like, because this one easily could tie in very well to the other trio of albums. And maybe that's just the consistent sound that Sleepy Fish is going to continue having. But thematically, I feel like it just is the same thing, but a different chapter. For a majority of the two 2020 albums that he released, I felt very taken back into a world where I felt like I was either in the ocean or just enjoying it on a boat or something like that. I know that if you go and watch the videos that accompany this music, it's very much like that, but it did truly transport me mentally into those locations, and I feel like that actually would be the prime and most appropriate location to play this music. I'll play it anywhere, but that's exactly what it did for me. In regards to this album right here, I felt like I was enjoying a beachside bonfire for the majority of this album. Now, the video that kind of accompanies this, along with the album cover here, we have a bunch of, I guess, Arctic snow monkeys giving each other massages in a hot spring. Okay. Regardless of that point, I would say this is a very good continuation of the previous albums I listened to last year. The only difference is I do feel like I'm slightly transported to a new location that still has some aesthetic ties with the previous two albums. Now, the things that are probably a little bit different in this album versus the previous ones is that Sleepy Fish has a lot more vocals added to this, and I don't really mean singing necessarily. There aren't really lyrics that you can really describe in here, but vocals indeed, just kind of accompanying the acoustics and everything else that we needed to have for this style to come out. Also, another feature in here that isn't in every song in here, but I find being featured sporadically throughout the album, is a bunch of plucked strings, and it is a wonderful addition to the vibrant feel of this album. The first highlight I would like to mention that has these types of features is the first song, titled I Main Samus Now. Another song that does feature that plucking I mentioned is the song I Thought Graduating Would Feel Weirder. Yes, that is the name of the song. A lot of songs in here have very particular, even strange titles for the songs. I Will Never Stop Writing Songs About the Rain, Setting Up Our Beds in Minecraft, Getting Soup. You kind of get the point here, right? Continuing on with weird titles, but also bringing the tempo down ever so slightly to switch things up, is the song Man, I Miss My Cats. Just because I feel like I should highlight some more songs, it's really hard for me to try and pick and choose from time to time in albums that I'm just like really delve deep into. Let's highlight Tournament Arc. And Fireworks Festival. Now, despite all the grooviness that I do feel inside for this album, I do feel like I do have to say something. I really do like this album. I do feel like there are definitely varying degrees between all the albums here, and I don't want to get myself caught overpraising an artist too much. But I do have to emphasize, this is still not only just down my alley, but it is also, I feel, strongly encapsulates a great emotion that I feel like so many people could totally relate to, and I do think that it can set a very good mood. It can even change a bad mood to a peaceful mood. This is music that I respect a lot. Now, do I have any negatives to talk about? Well, I only remember one song where I felt like it had moments that were kind of steering on flat, potentially. I don't know if that was just me, but I didn't note it in my mind. Saying momentary doesn't make me hate everything else. And if you do, in fact, listen from the album from beginning to end, I can say that maybe you are going to get a little more lost in the mood, potentially. I don't really find a fault with the songs themselves. Maybe it's the order of the songs. I'm not particularly sure. I don't know. I just can't blame it for maybe being a little bit in his zone. So, after having listened and reviewed this album with the following grades in the following categories here, how would I recommend this album? I am going to give it...
Yes. Yes, Your Majesty.
Now, I do feel because of that plateau I mentioned earlier, this is more of a soft yes, but it is a yes nonetheless. I feel compelled enough to be able to say, I don't have doubts that this is something I want to recommend to another person. I do think that there are some people who might enjoy the other two. And I think that's true for me as well. The previous two albums that I gave yeses to, I think I do like those more and I will listen to them more often. But this one, I can't fault it for just being different than the other two. It delivers exactly what I think it needs to be. And that's what usually wins me over for a strong recommendation like this, despite me saying right now it's softer than the previous. But, hey, you did your job, Sleepy Fish. Good job. And that's all I got for you guys today. Thank you so much for watching. Be sure to follow me in my social media links down in the description below and insert cool call to action graphics right here. Be sure to follow these so you can come back here where you can discover, promote, and review the best in entertainment, culture, and lifestyle while not forgetting quality, values, and fun. And above all, get that yes in your life. See you next time.